with being? What's wrong with being? What's wrong with being confident? Oh, what's wrong with being? What's wrong with being? What's wrong with being confident?
Oh, you know, Demi Lovato did that so much better than us. We sound like an old-timey band.
What?
We sound like the Jersey. We sound like a terrible female reenactment of Jersey Boys. What's wrong with being? Hi, everybody. Welcome into So Happy You're Here podcast. I'm Erin. This is Becky, and we are so happy to have you here. We like to lead with song, even when said song sucks. As delivered by us, not delivered by Demi Lovato.
We're trying to tie it into today's episode.
Yes. So today's episode, we have another incredible special guest.
We are really blessed with amazing friends that produce content that I could never even have dreamt of.
You guys, Christopher Macken was one of your fan favorite guests back at our old network. He was a beauty and style expert. He helped you namely with ready to wear beauty, but started with some hair tools.
Yes.
Anyway, we worked together for many, many years. He has moved on in such incredible ways. He has a massive social media following.
So he's the guy, if you are new to us and are coming to us because of Christopher, you know him as the Suge guy. Hey, Suge.
Hey, Suge.
And he leaned into his authentic self. He dazzled us before, but what he has created in the last, what do you think, couple of years?
I mean, a year and a half, maybe. Yeah, we fell in love with this tall drink of water, 6'7", Southern, Georgia boy. We fell in love with him and his sweetheart and his, expertise. And since then, he pivoted into really a social media presence that now over 1.5 million followers have fallen in love with.
A line of merch that follows.
Yes. So we just kind of catch up on the age old question, how in the hell did you end up in home shopping? Nobody ends up there on like a straight path. It's always some crazy story.
Oh, I studied it at university.
Yeah. Heads up, it's not a major at any college that we know of. And now he is in Barcelona with his husband, has this huge social media following. And he just kind of takes us on a path of where he ended up finding his success and the pivots that he has made.
I can tell you, we just wrapped that conversation. I feel glowy and warm and happy. He is just a joy bringer.
We laughed. We almost cried. Our partners and friends at Isomers Skincare are still here to help you feel and look your best in the skin that you're in. No matter your age, no matter your skincare want or need, they have got you covered. Isomers has real chemistry. They are science-based skincare created by chemists to bring the best ingredients and the best results to your skin. What you're going to do is go to isomers.ca, use the code HAPPY20, and you're going to get 20% off your purchase. If you spend $100 or more, it's free shipping and handling. So enjoy. That's isomers.ca.
Have you noticed the new set, everybody? Your little friend, Joanna Gaines Newberg, has put together, assembled with her very own hands, a beautiful new little display. And do you want to walk through any of it? Do you want to just do one key item?
Number one, it's a little cluttered for my aesthetic take, but Becky says it's great.
I love it.
So in my normal aesthetic, I like just a plain white wall and like one thing. I think it cleans out my brain. I'm so clogged up here in my brain that my physical space needs to be clean.
Yeah.
But Becky says this is good. And I do think it makes it feel more like home.
It's fun.
So I have my sweater that I wore in my kindergarten picture. There's an E embroidered on it. It's pretty scratchy. I still have that. I wore that in 1984 for my kindergarten picture.
We wore the hell out of some wool sweaters.
I was hoping John Schmidt would like it. Oh. Ooh la la. I've got my disco shoes because it's not a party unless you got your disco shoes.
Can you see the heel on these though, you guys?
Yeah.
That's a killer heel.
We've got a picture of some of the original Wake Up and Style cast when we had a 90s sitcom going. I've got my mugs from Wake Up and Style, Cooking with Shaq.
That's her baton.
We've got an original Sharif bag.
Gorgeous.
My baton that I twirled when I was 4 years old. We have got the Amy Vanderbilt Complete Book of Etiquette from like 1950s.
Mind your manners.
I got that from my late mother-in-law.
Okay.
And of course we got a pineapple back there, but we're not inviting any of you to do anything weird. It's just a cute pineapple.
Do you want to know that my kids were out and about, Jack and his girlfriend, and they were propositioned by another couple.
To have dinner?
Nope.
Okay. Wow. What did they say?
They asked if they were together, and they said they were very attractive, and that they had a hotel down the street.
No.
Yes. Which then
what did they say? Did they say yes?
They said no, thank you. Thank you. No, as Amy Vanderbilt would kindly say, well, I appreciate that kind offer.
Smokes.
But I then shared with them this time that it happened to Phil and me.
Yeah.
But we didn't know it was happening.
Yeah.
When this lovely couple, we were at a concert, we went to dinner, they picked up the check. Phil was like, absolutely not, but it was already paid for.
But you already knew this couple?
No, met them at the show. They were lovely people. I know, but as we're walking, we did have a hotel room in this place. And they were like, what do we do now? And I said, go to bed. It's been a big, long night.
Turn on Netflix.
Yes.
And go to bed.
Like the good Lord intended. But then I could tell by their reaction, like I was a little naive. I didn't realize, by paying for dinner.
No, I'm happy you said you're a little naive and not me, because I was also out with Becky one time at a bar, and I am not lying. There was a man speaking to her with his hand this close.
It wasn't that high.
He was right here. If you're not watching this, like I can feel the heat from her undercarriage with where my hand is.
High.
I was the third party who was like, excuse me, sir, your hand doesn't go there. And she was like, oh, what? I thought he had nowhere else to rest his hand. What?
This is the problem with coming from our generation where we were taught, again, Amy, I don't know where the line is between I'm trying to be polite and I am desperately uncomfortable.
There's a hand on my upper inner thigh. And I had to be the one who was like, sir.
No, she was security that night.
Like, if you could just remove your hand from her inner thigh, that would be terrific. I just tell you guys
too, Erin is having some work done, and there is a, what do you call this? A cherry picker.
There's a crane outside my house. Don't ask questions, you guys.
What does he think we're doing right now?
Probably propositioning couples online. We've got lights on. Your chest looks great. I'm in a full lash.
Is getting closer and closer.
There's a man in a cherry picker outside our window thinking that Becky and I are online ladies. And that's how we can afford the cherry picker, sir. That's right. I don't know. Should I feel sad about this? Just weigh in. So I will tell you. So Becky and Phil have been propositioned by another couple.
Oh, you're sad you haven't been propositioned?
Here, listen. Her sweet son and his girlfriend have been propositioned. I've known a lot of people proposition. On top of that, when I started working in home shopping and started doing watches, some of the other hosts were like, Erin, listen.
Oh, you're going to get some correspondence.
There's a lot of men who are very proud of their watches, and they put them in places unknown and send pictures.
To the hosts?
Yes. Well, like slide into their DMs with dick pics. Sorry, Mom, I said dick. And so here I am.
You're waiting.
I'm like, I've got to be ready for this.
Refresh.
I'll be darned. Nobody's sending me a dick pic. I am not that type of lady.
Did you not get one at all? I'm sorry.
I am here to report in 2025, near the end of 25.
And she's not soliciting for them now either.
I've never received an inappropriate photo in my life, and I've never been propositioned for couple sex. Now,
I'm so sorry.
One would say that's probably good news. But on the other hand, is there something wrong with
you have FOMO.
Yes. Why is every other host getting nude pics, and why are every other couple getting propositioned? What is it about me? Now I'm starting to feel left out.
Are you not putting the vibe out?
No, originally I was like, yeah, I'm getting by without any of this gross stuff. And now I'm feeling like, wait a minute. Why not pick me?
You haven't lived till you've had to block people, call security, call the police.
I have never had an inappropriate photo sent to me. I've never been propositioned for couple sex.
I had one that was like, I have something in my eye. Forgive me. I'm sorry.
It's all right. I hope you don't have. I can't see anything other than you're making your eye red now.
Sorry, guys.
Try to avoid it.
Oh, this topic is bringing me to tears.
Well, weigh in. Let me know. Is it something I should be worried about and concerned about? Or like, am I dodging a good bullet? I think I'm dodging a bullet.
You're totally dodging a bullet.
But now when you say stuff like that, I'm like,
no.
What gives?
No. And here's the thing, gentlemen. This is just a PSA.
Yeah, and there's only 3 of you listening anyway.
It's not cute. I don't care which kind of variety. It's just not. Nobody wants this. No. Nobody is looking for that.
No, nobody is looking for that.
Not interested. Father Phil knows that. I think everybody needs to.
So you know what we are looking for, though, is a great conversation with Christopher Macken.
And also likes and follows. So
yes.
You guys, he grew his social media so exponentially. It is such a really cool thing. And what did he say the reason was?
Being his authentic self. Yep. So from a small town Georgia boy to a home shopping, beauty and skincare and style expert to now an expat over in Spain with a huge social media following, and his entire point of it is to be authentically him and to bring joy and giggles to people around the world. So I think you're really going to enjoy this interview. It's about an hour long. We have tons of fun with him. As always, please make sure you like and follow and subscribe. Yes. We're getting so many listens and we love it. We need more likes and more subscribers.
What I have found is the people are crossing over. So audio only people, come find us on YouTube. YouTube people, if you're on the road, it might be easier to do the audio.
That's right.
From, podcast from Apple, from Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts.
That's right. So we adore all of you. We are so happy that you are here. Enjoy this interview with Christopher Macken. He's here. So happy you're here, Christopher Macken. Thank you for joining us.
I'm so happy to be here, y'all. I love you guys so much. You have no idea.
We love you more.
No, we love you the most.
We're doing this. And I literally, when I saw that y'all were doing this, I thought, well, I kind of want to do it.
Yeah. Well, we were like, how are we going to get this massive social media star who now lives in Barcelona?
That's right.
To come to our studio. So thank you so much for carving out some time, especially with the time change. We couldn't be more honored to have you here, sir.
Yes. And should we have opened with, hey, Shug?
Yeah. Hey, Shug.
Hey, Sugar Britches. How you doing?
Iconic.
American boys and girls just went wild when
Swooning.
they heard it. Yes.
That's right. Okay, so before we dive into our whole conversation, just catch everybody up. Where are you right now? Where are you in the world?
I am in my studio in my home in the Gothic quarter of Barcelona, Spain. So I'm right next door to the cathedral that they started building in 1295.
Come on.
It's crazy. So sometimes I pinch myself when I'm walking around these ancient streets and really just enjoying it. It really is it's a different vibe. I mean, I know that sounds very LA of me. It's a vibe. But it really truly is. It's a different vibe, and one that I had to acclimate to a little bit, but I love it.
Well, and our beauty boy surrounded by beauty. That makes sense.
Yeah,
right?
Totally.
You love beautiful things.
Do you miss Atlanta?
I do love beautiful things. No, I'm teasing. I do miss Atlanta. I miss Atlanta. I was in Atlanta for almost 2 decades.
Yeah, I know.
So, Atlanta helped frame up my career. Atlanta helped to form and forge relationships that are like family to this day. I would not know the two of you if it were not for Atlanta. Yeah. So really and truly, Atlanta will always hold a very special place in my heart.
And, it's a great central airport, too. So for a mover and shaker like you, it's a great place to be.
I'm sure I will get back there with this. The world's busiest airport. So at some point, I'm going through Atlanta for something.
For sure. So speaking of home shopping, I mean, that's how we all met. Christopher was not only a beloved beauty, health and wellness expert, but he was one of the favorite guests on Wake Up in Style.
Absolutely.
Which is the whole reason we started the podcast. So happy you're here. So let's just take a little time travel back. And a question that we ask everybody on this show, how in the hell did you get into home shopping?
It's every little boy's dream from Milledgeville, Georgia, to say, I want to be on television shopping. I was always a bit of a gregarious kid and a little quirky and very talkative. So my mom used to always tell me, one day you're going to have to get a job where you talk for a living, when I get a bad report card. If we really want to get down to it, I'll give you the background story just really quick. I'll synopsize back in, I don't know if you remember this, but back in 2008, it was the whole downturn of the global economy.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It decimated my business. At the time, at 24 years old, I had started my own cosmetic line. So I had started I start from scratch, started my own cosmetic line. I was a hairstylist and started my own line, and it was doing really well. And I was so proud of it. And then all of a sudden, some big bankers decided they were going to make decisions that didn't work out so well for the rest of us. And I lost everything because so many people lost their job. Mm-hmm. So they couldn't afford the makeup. People couldn't afford to come get their hair done. And I went from being booked like 4 months in advance to sitting around thinking, am I going to cut enough hair to eat, you know? So borrowed $200 from my parents and packed my really nice luggage because I lost my cars, I lost my home, everything. Moved to Atlanta, slept on my friend's sofa, and sat on the windowsill and looked at the skyline of Atlanta and said, I will start again.
Yes.
I'm going to do this again.
You're giving me a Gone with the Wind moment.
And still I rise.
I will never go hungry again. So I kind of hit the pavement, literally hit the pavement. I never forget, for years I held on to these shoes. They were the Baswegian penny loafers that I loved, except my feet are so big they had quarters in them, not pennies.
Silver dollars, baby. Silver dollars.
True, 100%. So, and that's really that's a true story. They really did, unfortunately. So I walked holes in the bottom of those shoes because I couldn't afford a cab. I couldn't afford, and this was before Uber, right? Mm-hmm. So I had to walk to MARTA, which is the Atlanta version of the subway, and go into Midtown because I couldn't afford to live in Midtown. And I finally got a job at a little salon there, and I worked really hard, and I can remember I ate pimento cheese sandwiches twice a day just so that I could eat, and that was super cheap, and I couldn't afford 3 times a day. And then they asked me to be the creative director of that salon, and we made it a full multicultural salon. So I learned how to do ethnic hair, and I learned how to highlight and color ethnic hair safely, and how to do extensions and all that kind of stuff. So then I got hired away by a big spa company. They had 5 locations, and they did everything from hair all the way to facelifts. So they had plastic surgeons and hairstylists. It was a complete one-stop shop. And so I was their creative director. I'm like, okay, I am doing it. I'm moving on up. I got a call from Bernard Bronner Brothers Hair Show. So I was one of only 2 at the time Caucasian men to host main stage at Bronner Brothers, which is the largest ethnic African-American hair show in the world. So I did that, but notoriety and a paycheck don't come in one package.
Yep.
So you have to do the hard work first and hope that it all pans out in the end. And I really didn't know what my what next was, but then I get this phone call one day while I was at one of the cosmetic surgery locations, and I stepped outside and they said, "Hey, my name is so-and-so. Would you be interested in doing television shopping?" You mean like QVC, and they said, well, yeah, sort of, that's like that. We are a hair brand, and we're looking for a replacement for our on-air talent. And we were wondering, you were referred to us by a friend.
Yes.
Would you be interested? And I said, yeah. Because I am a firm believer that I hate the term fake it until you make it.
Wait, I do too.
Wait, why though? Because that's my whole
I've never
business
faked
plan.
anything. Yeah, I prefer the term believe it until you achieve it.
Yes.
And so I would always tell people, they say, what do you do? Which is a normal conversation starter. What do you do? So I would always tell people that I was an international fashion and beauty expert because that's what I wanted to be.
Yes.
And even though at the time I did not even have a passport, but I was just a small town Georgia boy that had these big dreams. I knew that I was going to, there was something bigger for me. So for the opportunity to go on national television, I was super excited, jumped at it. Well, I had to go in and do a little test, for the producers and everybody. It was Evine at the time. It had just become Evine from Shop NBC. So I recorded this thing, and which it was so awkward. I didn't know what I was doing really, but I was like, this is a blow dryer, and this is
I recorded mine in a basement, and they teased me my whole career. They're like, Erin, it looked like you were in a morgue. Like I was in a dark corner of the basement. And I'm like, you try to do a self-tape with 2 toddlers sleeping upstairs and a dog. Where would you go? They're all awkward.
You got a newspaper just to prove what day it is.
That's right. Proof of life.
Totally.
Yeah. So I recorded this thing. They sent it off. I was really excited, but I was trying not to get my hopes up because I knew that I might not get it. And sure enough, I got a phone call that someone in Evine saw the tape and said, thank you, but no thank you. That they didn't think that I was good on camera.
Weird.
And so it was a little bit of a bummer for me, but at the same time, I said, okay, well, that's okay.
Yeah.
This just isn't for me. And but it was kind of cool to think about. Well, then 2 days later, they called back and said, stop the presses. Someone else saw your tape. Apparently, the person who said no still had me up on a screen. And then her boss came in and said, oh, I want to see this guy.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, he's not good or something like that. And so she said, well, we'll just play it. She played it. She goes, what are you talking about? He's great. Let's do it. So if it hadn't been for the fact that she didn't take me off her screen or however that worked, I wasn't there, but then I wouldn't have had the opportunity. And so when I first came into Evine, I was so in awe of the behind the scenes of it all and the producers and the directors and the on-camera people. And, I remember seeing Aaron, you were my second host ever. And the first person, I can't remember her name, but she left shortly thereafter. I can't remember. I was with Heather for years.
Yeah, no, he would know Heather.
Because this is your first product. I'm thinking of.
He said the first one he worked with left shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
So
So and I just thought that it was so good, but I can tend to be a little bit of a perfectionist. I can pick myself apart a little too much, and so I didn't really know if I was doing good or not.
You kicked butt.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. Now it's been 13 years later. And so now, I'm much more confident in it. But I can remember walking down the hallway after my show with you, Aaron, and I passed by a producer. I call everybody a producer. If I didn't know what their job title was and they had a clipboard, then they were a producer.
Obviously. They're in charge of something. Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget, he said, we were in the control room and we were taking bets if this really was your first time doing this. And I said, it absolutely was. Yeah. And he said, you are good.
You are.
And I went, okay.
Now, can you accept that though? Can you receive that when someone gives you a kindness and a truth like that?
I do at the very moment, but the minute they walk away, I'm like, was he being sarcastic?
Yeah. What's his angle?
Wait, was he teasing me? Totally. I remember walking in, we were in Studio D, which was right across from the host room. I hoard clothes, Christopher. I don't want you to judge me, but I don't get rid of any of my clothes.
Wait a minute. Her kindergarten sweater for her school day picture is right behind us.
I mean, it's an embroidered E for energy, enthusiasm. Aaron. Anyway, I still have the black dress I wore when I first met you. And I always wear a 4-inch heel. It just makes me feel taller, stronger, a little closer to God. So normally I'm only 5'4", but when I put on a 4-inch heel, I'm 5'8", and then I had this cute little black dress that had like ruffles. I came into that set and I was like, Christopher.
How tall are you, Lovey?
I'm 6'7".
It's in an honest 6'7". I mean, you are not like stretching to 6'7".
No.
So I always joked that the only reason they won't take Christopher is that they can't get us both into frame at the same time. Like the only reason they wouldn't want him is like I'm on a 4-inch heel, I'm on a apple crate, and I'm still reaching up for this perfect man. Though I mean, it was still perfect. They could have just taken a shot of you and had my voice moving from the opposite end, but
what's funny is I learned when I'm standing behind the podium next to a host how to bend one knee and cock my hip a little bit to lower myself to make it not such a drastic difference in frame.
You throw those angles, baby, throw them.
Yeah.
So, but I will tell you, I remember a lot of times as a host, especially with a new guest, no matter how well versed they are, no matter how smart they are, you can get out there and it takes a moment. And I remember I did my intro. I set up the product and I, started our conversation. It's the host's job to lead the conversation. And Christopher, it was like you had been there for years. It was so good right out of the gates. And we got done and I'm like, okay, this guy.
Superstar.
Oh, we need to keep this guy around. How quickly can he move to Minnesota?
Y'all, listen, you're really sweet. But to be honest with you, that has probably more to do with the two of you. And Becky, you're the same way. The energy that you have is very, very welcoming, and it's very just kind of chill and hanging out. Is that a thing?
So
like,
it's
I
not
feel
so
like,
formal. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've never
And I
been
think
called
that's why
formal.
Well, I also think that that's why both of you were so loved by so many people when on the show, because on all the shows, because there is a genuineness and a realness to both of you that I know for a fact is true, because I have been on camera, off camera, in the hallways. I remember I got off the airplane from Australia one time and went straight to the studio. Delta lost my luggage, and I was getting ready to do a show, and I just like fell out on the floor and just laid there for a little bit.
I just need a little moment.
But y'all are the kind of people you're the friend, you're the hangout person, and that's who you are off camera.
Oh, thanks, Christopher.
We didn't really know any different. When you were telling your story about getting into home shopping, we joke about this as well a lot with like Jess Manuel and a few of our other friends. Almost all of us fell ass backwards into home shopping.
Yes.
So you know the term ignorance is bliss. I don't think we knew any different, because we just sort of fell into this.
Like we're strategizing.
Yeah. Like there was no plan. It was like, oh, here's a nice man talking about a blow dryer. This is how we would talk about a blow dryer. Like, I think we just all,
so true.
because we fell into it ass backwards, we just sort of, to your point, just did our own thing.
But it's because of that authenticity, and you have it too. You have it so much.
Oh, that's sweet. I appreciate that coming from both of you for starting.
So do you have any favorite memories or favorite moments from home shopping, live unscripted television?
Did anything ever go wrong?
Yeah. This one time I had a caller and she started talking about the product, but very quickly segued over to explain the ins and outs of her divorce. and I was like, I don't think the mascara is going to help with that.
So funny.
Yeah, there was a couple of moments and then one time I can't remember exactly how I worded it, but I made a very much accidental, and some people did ask if it was on purpose, but accidental could have been perceived and was perceived as a little bit of a risque innuendo, and that is not at all where my head was at the time. But right after it came out of my mouth, I couldn't stop myself from giggling.
Wait, what was it? What was it? Just
I
say
can't remember exactly what the phrasing was, but even my host at the time just looked at me like,
yes. It's church giggles.
Because we're
church giggles.
We're 12-year-old boys.
Yes.
About everything.
The minute you say something inappropriate, do you want to know something I said super inappropriate one time? So I was working with Aaron Kessler, who you know well, and obviously. And this is kind of near the end of Shop HQ's, where we had to do dual hosting. Like they weren't bringing guests in for everything. That's a whole nother story for another day. So Aaron Kessler and I were on air together for Waterford Crystal. And because he definitely was more of a Waterford Crystal expert than I was the host role, where I was explaining to people what was coming up next, how to buy it. And he was more of the guest role, explaining why it was important. And anyway, these days, Christopher, where long days, you're tired, you're working late, you're getting up early in the morning. Focus is a skill set you need to have, but sometimes, So anyway, I was doing a part where I was telling everybody what was coming up. And what was coming up was this set of 3, they're really pretty, like carved roses. And they were little rose buds for like paperweights or like decor. And I am doing my spiel and I'm like, all right, so coming up next, we have a set of Roadhead. Instead of rose buds, I said Roadhead. And I looked at Aaron Kessler.
You can get that on Value Pay?
I'm sweating right now, you guys. Every part of my body is sweating. And we're live on air and there is no... I looked at him and I go, oh my God. And instead of
covering,
I just went behind the deck like this. and hid.
Well,
I
because
just
it's
hid.
been said. At this point, it's been said.
So then I couldn't stop laughing at the church giggles. I'm hiding behind the bench.
So she's by himself.
He's alone, beet red, like also laughing. And I do not come up to help him at all. I am laying on the floor, laughing hysterically. Coming up next, we've got a set of Roadhead. Now, ladies, if you don't know what Roadhead is, please do not look it up on your personal and or work computers. Okay, just ask somebody. You don't want that on. You do not want that on your work search history, just so everybody knows. Okay? Nobody look it up if you don't know what it is. Ask a trusted source. Okay? Anywho.
This is so good. This is so good.
But then church giggles ensue, and then everybody gets in trouble, and then they're like, why were you guys laughing so hard? I'm like, it's none of your business, boss. Like, if you didn't hear it, I'm not about to tell you.
Totally fine. No, you didn't say anything
No,
wrong.
I know. It happens to the best of us is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so now you're in home shopping. People fell in love with your authenticity, with your tips and tricks. You were always highly requested on Wake Up in Style as a beauty expert. And then you left us. And then you said, I gotta go. So where did that pivot come from? When did you decide, you know what, it's time for me to move on? I've hit my ceiling here.
Okay. Total truth moment.
Wait, was it after I said Roadhead? I hope not.
That would have made me stay.
He clutched his pearls and said, not today.
100%. I'm like, this is my kind of girl.
I've been married 20 years. It doesn't happen.
Well,
sorry, baby.
I don't think that anybody watching thinks that I have that kind of girl. So let's face it, Helen Keller would know that would not happen. Deaf, blind, and dead. So anyway, I went through a personal transformation.
Okay.
And I realized that my time at the dance was done. And in a few different ways, and I was in a marriage that, nothing against my ex-husband whatsoever, but we probably should never have been married. We should have always just been best friends.
Hindsight's always 20/20. That's all right.
And so we were together for almost 13 years and 12 years, and I finally decided, here I am, 40 years old. If I don't make a change in my life, I have one of two options. I can sit here and be unhappy, and we can both be unhappy and just pretend like we're happy, or I can seek something different.
Yeah.
So I did. I got the courage to leave. We didn't even have attorneys. It was just a very simple divorce.
Okay.
But it was still painful.
Of course.
So there was many times I would come into the studio and there was tears and everything else, and then you suck it up and you go on camera. And
I remember that. Yes.
Smile though your heart is breaking.
Yes.
Yeah. And so then we went through, there was a very long separation and divorce process, but then I met the love of my life. And it was very out of left field. I manifested this person, like specifically down to his height and where he was from. I was making a joke with a friend. And I said, I know what I need. I'm just going to be single for a while. Besides, I know what I need.
6'4", blue eyes, finance. Like, what
Basically, I said, I want him to be at least 6'3". I want him to speak at least 2 languages, be well-traveled, work in a creative field. I want him to have a calm dominance about him. I want him to be in control, but not controlling.
Oh my gosh. Let's all add calm dominance.
Really good.
To our list of must-haves.
And wasn't teeth part of it? Didn't he have some good tufas?
Oh, he does have some good teeth. Yeah, he's got a good smile. So I said, I wanted, and at the very end, I made a joke because my whole point in saying this was I was trying to list like the unattainable, right, thing. And so I said at the very end, and he's got to be European. And 3 days later, I get a message on a dating app from a 6'3". Oh, I also said I want him to be older. 6'3" man who works in television and film, so creative. He speaks 5 languages.
Is that all?
Yeah.
He is older. He is very much a calm dominant. So he is very much the most calm, even keeled, emotionally in tune, love language speaking, amazing person. But he's not controlling at all. And when we were just kind of chatting, he said, I just want to let you know I'm European. And I went,
it only took 3 days.
You're like, and I just want to let you know I do.
Yeah, 3 days after I told my friend this.
Oh my gosh.
Me. We met for the first time 2 days later. We have all the same mutual friends in Los Angeles and had never met because I was married. So why would anybody introduce me?
Right, yeah. Right.
Just the craziest connections. We went on our first date, and this is going to sound so lesbian of me, but 5 days later, we moved in together.
Totally a lesbian move. Yeah.
Yeah.
The U-Haul on the second date. I love it.
Basically.
Hey, baby, when you know, you know.
That's it. You're grown. You know. Yeah.
We knew, and then so he is European, not Spanish, but he is European, which means as a member, he's a European citizen of Hungary as well as of the United States as an immigrant. So he can choose to live in any EU country he wants. And so I speak French, and so I was like, oh, let's move to France. And he's like, no. He said, have you ever been to Barcelona? And I said, no. He said, that's one of my favorite cities. Let's go. And I said, okay. So we did a 2-month European kind of tour and went to Budapest. We spent a lot of time in Budapest, which I love Budapest. And then we came over to Barcelona, and I really fell in love with Barcelona.
Yes.
So we decided that this is where we were going to end up. And actually, a year ago this month, we started the process to move here.
That is so dreamy.
Yeah, it really is.
I met my dream man. We moved in. And by the way, should we go move to Barcelona together? Yes.
Right.
So dreamy.
You're
I'm
living
swooning
like
over
a
here.
Hallmark movie.
So are you still able to work over there? Like, are you still doing your own thing?
I am. So subsequently, well, I spent all those years on television shopping on national television in Canada, and I did Italy once, New Zealand, Australia, the United States. And my social media just never really took off so much. And then I think something happened after the divorce and my mindset changed. And I just said, you know what, I'm going to be unapologetically me.
Yes.
Like, I'm not going to give a flying fig Newton what anybody says. I'm going to do what I want to do. And so I started doing my own social media channel thing, and I started really just kind of trying to create something funny, because really I was trying to make myself laugh.
Yes.
And then I really kind of embraced my Southern, something that I tried to kind of eliminate when I was on television. I tried to get rid of it, and as much as I could, which I don't think I ever really could. But then, so when I really embraced my authenticity, then my social media kind of took off in the most beautiful ways. And I
think we have to take the word kind of out.
But what did the numbers go from? Like, just in general terms, like.
So in 1 year, we went from 10,000 followers total, that's friends on Facebook included, to in 1 year, 1 million followers. And then 6 months later, we're at 1.5 million.
And were you hijacking anything behind the scenes, or is this truly just an authentic? And I don't mean hijacking like buying followers. I mean like, there's strategies to get into algorithms, or that people talk about all the time. Were you doing any of those?
I barely know how to turn on my phone. I'm not a very technologically advanced person. I'm the type of person that I just look at my husband and go, make it do that thing.
Honey, you have too much personality to be a tech savant. All right, too much personality for that.
Not good at it. I just kind of started trying to add a little bit of a funny commentary on the world around us, which so many times is heavy and not so funny right now. And I found the most beautiful community of people that, I get these messages from people, and, when I was going through this, or I was going through divorce, or I was going through cancer, I have a glitter kid, because I always call myself a glitter guy. They have a glitter kid.
It's my favorite color.
I be there for my child. And so it was kind of connecting with all of these people. I don't know that they know what they did for me, during a time. And so it just kind of became this really cool little thing. And I did learn how to read the analytics, so I could see what time of the day when I posted got more views, or I realized I tried to respond to every single comment, and for a long time I did, and now it's impossible to, but I do go through and randomly select them and try to respond to as many people as I can. It just became an organic thing that I'm super, super grateful for. I never in a million years thought that I'd be walking down the street in Barcelona and someone would go, "Hey, Shug!" And I'm like,
"Hey, Shug!"
I mean, it happens like every day. Or, and sometimes you look like a foot and you don't want to be recognized.
You don't ever look like a foot, sir. You don't ever look like one. I mean, that's pretty incredible, because I said to Becky, and congratulations on all of your incredible success. I said to Becky, I can't remember how long ago, but did you ever feel like this? Like, we were in home shopping for so long, and this is not a dig on home shopping by any means, but there is definitely a character. You play a character of yourself on home shopping.
A version of yourself.
You are a part of yourself on home shopping. And even I was saying to Becky a few months ago, I forgot how I like to wear my own hair. I forgot how I like to dress myself, because not that I wasn't myself on home shopping by any means. I was myself, but it was a part of myself. Mm-hmm. And there was a certain way your hair was supposed to be done. And there was a certain clothes aesthetic you were supposed to wear. And there was definitely, because there are federal laws on what you can and cannot say and behave.
And we have bosses
who have expectations, and you shouldn't say roadhead.
Like roadhead.
So you get 10 years down the road, and I was like, wait a minute.
Who am I?
How do I like to do my hair?
Yeah.
Who am I in my own messaging?
Yes.
And not messaging that represents a corporation and brands. Did you feel that same way walking away from home shopping?
100% I did. And I think, to be honest with you, I shaved my head before leaving home shopping. I got more piercings in my ears. I wanted more earrings. I dropped the whole, but wait, there's more person that they kind of trained me into. Not in a bad way. They weren't, it wasn't like somebody was trying to control me. It's not like some evil queen sitting up in an office that's like, but
they weren't fabulous enough to be a queen.
From your lips to God's ears,
listen, woman. She'll give you a zinger here and there. Watch out.
So, but truthfully, you realize all of a sudden, I didn't have an accent anymore, and toward the end, everything, I would go from being able to speak like this, and hi everybody, and today we're going to talk about contouring, and I came from a dirt road in Georgia. And so I almost had to untrain myself to be that person. The camera would turn on and I would immediately want to go, ooh, button up. And to be honest, I kind of didn't care anymore, but I think that was also my ability to kind of spread my wings a little bit. I've represented a lot of other people's brands, and I've represented a lot of huge global brands as their creative director and their spokesperson. And I know the numbers that were there, and that was great and everything. Yeah. But now, we've launched my own brand, and it's growing, and I'm, for the first time, I feel like almost 45 years old, I'm in the driver's seat of my own
Heck
life.
yeah, baby.
So exciting time.
And you're in a
It's a good
fast
feeling.
European car at that, too.
I mean, no, in Europe, I don't drive.
Oh, okay.
I'm driven.
Oh, obvious.
That's your.
No,
Would that be your
I take the
Housewives line?
subway.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. Wait.
No, I know my Housewives
What
line.
is it?
What is it?
Okay, let's just pretend like this is like the whatever.
Your
Sure,
Apple
sure.
or whatever. Yeah.
I know I'm not exactly a housewife, but neither was Kim Zolciak.
Yes.
So good.
Oh, that's a good one. We have to come up with our taglines.
We do.
We don't have one
No.
yet, which is really weird.
No,
We've got to get them.
Shame on us.
I know. So, congratulations.
Very well.
You are making the world laugh. And I think that's most important.
Yes.
Because Becky and I say this all the time. If we don't laugh, we'll cry. And we have had criticism in the past, like, how can you laugh at a time like this? Or why aren't you more angry about that? And I think, obviously in private, we have worries and we have fears and we have angers, but we are big believers. And one of the reasons we're drawn to you is if you don't laugh, you'll cry. And we think one of the most important things we can do together is just have a good giggle, which I think is what people love about your
100%.
social, right?
I think you're so right about that. But also, I'm a firm believer that if we get too down in the mud,
Yes.
Then we start wallowing and we start marinating in that negative energy. That negative energy begets other negative energy. And don't get me wrong. A lot of my content can be very jovial, or I can make jokes about political this or political that. I think that if you follow me on social, you know where I stand.
Pretty clearly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yes.
But you point out the ridiculousness of it and the hypocrisy and the.
I mean,
Things that can be poked
I'm
at.
sorry, but they're giving us a lot of material right now. And I think I just say the quiet part out loud.
Yeah.
People, yes, we can sit there and talk about this or this or this that we don't love, but if we can kind of break it down in a way that just makes it simple, for everyone just to kind of go, hey, you know what? I agree with that. And what I found is through humor, I have a very polite and kind following that are from both sides of the aisle.
Terrific.
Well, come on.
Especially coming from Atlanta, right? I mean, there's polarizing places. You know, the one that really struck me was when you spoke about Pulse, when they repainted the walkway.
So I don't know if y'all remember this, but another memory of Evine. The morning when they were, it just gets me every time.
We don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
No, it's okay because it was the morning that they were looking for people, survivors. So it happened overnight. I was on a plane that morning to Evine.
Yeah,
and I had shows talking about hair care. Mm-hmm.
May I quickly remind everybody, we're talking about the Pulse nightclub down in Miami not Miami, in Orlando. And Christopher had worked there. And so that's what we're discussing. Yes.
Yeah, yes. I helped open it back in the day. And I'll never forget being in the pink room, in the model room, and finally getting a phone call from a friend of mine. And I knew that he was okay.
Oh, good.
And I just kind of broke down into tears and I said, I'm about to go on television and talk about shampoo and flat irons and how do I do that? And he said, because somewhere there's someone that needs a break from the news and sadness.
Yes.
And this is your job.
What a great
That's right.
perspective.
What a great friend to have.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I remember thinking, okay, now I had a signal to the producers because I had long hair at the time.
I remember that.
And if I put my hair behind my right ear, then that meant I need to get the camera off of me.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yep. That you needed a moment.
I would to get a tissue and then I would pull it back together and I'd go like that. And then they'd put the camera back on me. Yeah. Because the reality is the television shopping game, especially in fashion and beauty, Wake Up and Style, you know this better than anybody. It's that one little reprieve from the crazy world where we can indulge in things that make us happy.
Yes.
That's it right there.
Exactly. And to your point, and again, sorry, hard pivot from the tragedy at Pulse, but I also think something that we always tried to do really hard on Wake Up and Style and in this podcast and that you do is laugh, but also laugh at ourselves.
Yeah.
Like when we lose the ability to laugh at ourselves. And that's what I like about your content too, is no matter what side you're on, when you get those little truth moments, even some people are laughing at themselves and some people are just laughing along with you. I think it's an art form that is lost on people right now.
To kind of walk that line.
We can't take ourselves so seriously. We have to be able to laugh with each other, at ourselves. Don't you think?
Listen, I mean, well, look, I'm a 6'7" man with a voice like Barry White, half the time wearing more makeup than Tammy Faye. This is a lot. Okay?
Let's get it on.
Yeah, there's a lot happening over here, and
again,
so
too much personality for technology, baby. Too much.
I mean, I can poke fun at myself way more than anybody else ever could. I grew up a bullied kid in small town Georgia. Went to military school, Southern Baptist Church, you name it. I was a part of it. But the truth of the matter is, I mean, just like for Halloween, for instance, there was a party here in Barcelona that I was invited to, but the theme was cowboys. And I was like, I am not dressing up as a cowboy. I'm going to look like Woody from a Toy Story. I'm not.
Hey, Woody ended up getting Barbie in the end, though. Oh, I guess you didn't want Barbie.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe.
Where's Ken?
Yeah. So, but you're right. I think that, and especially in a world of social media that I personally don't get. And it's
yeah.
Oh, honestly.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, oh God, stop with your self-indulgent BS. I mean, yes, we can see that you're pretty, but you can be pretty and funny. Like you can be pretty and just normal. Like, you don't have to constantly remind us that you are, pretty. To me, pretty is a way of feeling, not necessarily something that you have to beat the world over the head with.
Yeah.
And there's so many young people who kind of fell into that social media narcissistic trap, I feel like. And so I love that I don't have to do that with my followers.
I always thank the good Lord above. Thank God I didn't have social media when I was a teenager. I mean, I don't know where I would have ended up. I feel like these teenagers and young 20-somethings, not to get on my old person soapbox, but I'm like, I don't know how they keep it all together.
Don't
Can
you
you
think
imagine?
they'll figure it out,
You're younger than us.
But they'll figure it out. They'll work through it.
Well,
I think so.
I think so.
I do think that there's something to be said for the constant need to check up on how everybody else is doing in the social. And I'm like, it's all fake.
Yeah.
that's not their Ferrari that they're taking a picture in front of. That's not their yacht that they're on. That, and it's just, to me, it's just so daggum silly. I don't understand. But that may be coming from a place of, it wasn't that long ago that I told you earlier I was eating tuna and cheese sandwiches because that's all I could afford and walking holes in the bottom of my Bass Legions.
Yes. But don't you think, you'll never lose sight of that. It doesn't matter how successful you'll get. That's somewhere I think I'm the same way. It's still back there, not too far. And I like to check in with her every once in a while.
Yeah. I was just talking about it. My first friend I ever made when I was 4 years old, we twirled this baton together, just so everybody knows. Hoarder. But anyway, a few weeks ago, she got married in Palm Springs, and it was really over the top celebration. It was a wedding 20 some years in the making, and it was beautiful and stunning. And we were all sitting down at breakfast one day, just like talking about how lucky we were because we grew up in rural Wisconsin, not a ton of lovely people, but not a ton of opportunity. And she was saying, to your point that you were just talking about, like, I think it was not having the opportunity and not having the resources from a younger age that gave so much motivation.
Lit that fire.
And fire to say, I am going to I think it serves people well to struggle. I think a struggle often serves you really well if you can use it as fire or motivation to really achieve your dreams. And you're walking proof of that, Christopher.
Well, and I made a joke earlier. I just want to kind of clarify when I said, "Oh, I don't drive, I'm driven." The follow-up part of that joke that I didn't get to say was, I take the subway. I don't.
Hey, honey, you've worked hard to get to where you are. Don't you dare make apologies for it.
Driven can be two different things. It can be motivated. Yeah.
And it can also be like, I run into stationary objects, so my husband prefers that he drives versus me.
Well, a town like Atlanta, you have to drive in Atlanta. In the United States, it's such a driving town. But living in the Gothic quarter of Barcelona, having a car here is not only costly, but it is incredibly inconvenient.
I bet.
None of these buildings have a parking lot. Like, where are you going to park your car?
Yeah. They didn't have cars when the building was built, baby.
No, this is my building's 500 years old. Like,
so hot.
Where are you going to park it?
Right.
Tell people in the United States about that. I mean, when you go to an antique store here, you might get something that's 200 years old, not 2,000, 3,000. I mean, like, come on. You're talking about ancient living.
It's crazy. We looked at an apartment that we ended up not getting. It was beautiful, but we ended up not getting. And I'm glad we didn't, because this is the apartment of our dreams. I've got a huge terrace, and I've got fruit trees, lime trees, and everything.
We can't wait to visit.
Come on, the door is always open. Bienvenido.
That's the name of this episode.
Bienvenidos a Zucar Pantalones.
Oh, your Spanish or your Catalan's coming along well.
It is. I'm learning just from immersion. But we looked at this place, and it was built in 1435. So cool. That was years before Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Obviously we know that you can't discover something where people already lived, but you get my point. So it was really interesting. And whenever I walk these streets, these mean streets of the Gothic quarter, and I look at all the architecture, every morning I have coffee right down the street at the Santa Maria church that's down there, Del P, Santa Maria del P, and it's the plaza that's there, and I sit out there and you look up at this ancient church that's sitting there, and you think, how many people, how many souls, how many individuals walked past this over the past hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, and it makes you feel this big in the big scheme of things.
Yeah, but doesn't it also give you such great perspective? Because sometimes I also think we get into our bubbles, and that just happens because life just happens that way. And when you have the opportunity to sit outside the Santa Maria church and recognize how big the world is, I think it changes your perspective too on like what you worry about or what even you care about sometimes. Don't you think?
150%, because the thing about, remember earlier in the show, I said I had to train my American brain to un-American myself.
Yes.
In the United States, we were told you wake up bright and early, crack of dawn, you work. And then, I own a real estate company in the US. I still technically do. And then I did the stuff on television. There was times I was working a real estate deal in my break room before I was going back on the air.
Rise and grind.
I mean, that's the name of the game, right? It's push, drive. One day I will retire and be able to enjoy life. And part of this whole change and then meeting my husband is when we moved over here, I had to learn to breathe.
Oh my gosh.
9 o'clock in the morning, the streets are still empty here. Like 10 o'clock, people are starting to bike to work, and 2 o'clock, people try to go to the bank at 2 o'clock.
Is there a little break in the day, or they're just getting started?
Siesta.
Yeah.
No siesta. Yeah. Everybody takes a nap. Yeah. Everybody takes a siesta. I take a nap typically from like 2 to 3:30 every afternoon.
I love it.
Wow.
And then I get up. But everyone here is productivity based and not time based.
Yes.
Oh, so you still get your stuff done.
That's a great differentiator.
Yeah, I get everything done. I may be answering emails at 11 o'clock at night when I get home and I'm laying in bed watching my favorite show and just doing
when a crazy
something.
American is texting you at all hours of the day.
Yeah, I love it when my crazy American is texting. But it is a different way. It really is a different way of life. You share prolonged meals with friends. It's a very long, drawn out process. And the cost of living here, going out to eat, is ridiculous. One of my favorite bars is actually down the street. It's called Bar Del P. It's been the same family for 100 years.
So amazing.
It's a Catalan family. You can get a glass of amazing champagne. It's Spanish champagne called Cava. And it's €3.
Let's go.
3.
Yeah.
I mean, how many more reasons do Becky and I need to show up? I mean, for heaven's sakes.
Matter of fact, I can take you to that vineyard, which is about 40 minutes outside of Barcelona.
Oh my gosh, we're going.
This is just the tourism board right here.
You guys really
always be selling.
We invited Christopher on this podcast just so he would invite us to Barcelona. So just so everybody knows.
Yes, there won't be a Zoom call.
That was our true intention.
Well, you know what we need to do, and maybe one day we can plan this, but I would love to have the two of y'all. We could do a follow-up show live from Barcelona, and we can do a whole thing.
I'm available next week.
We'll be Sugettes.
Yes.
Little background dancers.
Yes, we'll be the Sugettes.
We'll be little sugar babies.
Sugettes. So good. Oh, I had to learn to breathe. That is something we should all be talking about, even beyond moving to another country.
No, it's so good.
Learn to breathe. That's so good, Christopher.
Healthier for you.
I think that, let's talk about moms, working moms, right? Like, you're everything to everybody, and then you're something to yourself. And there is a way to do both and allow both of those things to coexist and to be a caring, loving person for other people, but also being very caring and loving to yourself. I've always said that I one day wanted to explain to people how to be a compassionate narcissist.
Wait a minute now. We did dominant, we did calm dominant, and now we're doing
compassionate narcissist. Explain yourself.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I think it's important because based on the mantra that you have to apply your own oxygen mask before you help anybody else apply theirs. I've done a lot of motivational speaking over the years, and inevitably in every crowd, when I always say, who's the most important person in your life, the answer that I get back from at least one person, all the time, more than one person, but at least one person will raise their hand and admit it. My children.
Yep.
It's always a woman. Yeah. It's never a man.
You're right.
You're right. My children or my husband or wrong. That is not the most important person in your life. You are the most important person in your life, because without you would not have them. Yeah. It's not possible. So, that's why I just kind of say, hey, look, make sure that you're being good to yourself. Breathe. Yes. And give yourself the grace to be able to be unapologetically yourself. Take 15 minutes longer to do your hair if that's what makes you happy. Pick out the outfit that puts a pep in your step.
Yes. I love
that. Don't feel guilty for taking time to make yourself feel good. Yeah, because we've talked about that before. We rush through the morning and then we don't feel good throughout the day because we didn't really put together the outfit we wanted to wear. Yeah. And I think people make it sound like it's superficial, but we believe it's where your confidence starts. I mean, obviously your confidence starts inside, but like the one decision you make every day is how to get dressed, how you want to present yourself. And if you just even take that little extra time to say, this is exactly how I want to go out into the world today. We agree with you. It's your armor. Yeah. It's definitely how you can build a little bit more confidence. And a little bit more.
I have a question for both of y'all. So actually, I know that this is my show with y'all's, but on that same note, I've said this before. So it's so easy to look at the fashion and beauty industry and consider it to be a narcissistic, self-centered, self-indulgent thing, but what you just said rings true to so many people. Becky, so many of the fashions that you brought and that you would explain how to wear and all that kind of stuff for so many years on the show. Yeah. you were really someone's style guide.
And don't you think
when we talk about,
we're giving her permission? We're giving her permission to love herself, to feel good in her clothes. And I think it's like having that girlfriend at the store that's saying, you look good.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't feel that way, I think that's a role that we filled, which was to say, we got you. We're we're not gonna lead you wrong, because that's one thing, and I know this is true for you too. There was nothing that I said that I didn't believe. So it didn't mean that I had to wear it myself. I will tell you why it's beautiful. I'll tell you why you look good in it.
Who it will look good on. Yes. And I would say it all the time. People thought I was being over dramatic, but what you put on your body, hair, makeup, clothes, is your most personal form of art, and people downplay it. And I don't think it should be downplayed. You're not self-centered. You're not obsessed with yourself for saying, this is my armor of the day and this is how I feel best. In fact, I think people underestimate it to a point where they feel worse, Yeah. And when you just,
they're in their sweats,
and it doesn't mean you have to be in a full glam. I mean, a lot of people are just feel best with just clean skin, and clean hair and a well-tailored trouser pant. Like, it doesn't mean you have to be wearing my disco shoes, and have a full beat down on the face. It just means, like, it is your most personal form of art, and it is what you say to the world without saying a word.
Well, and it's pride without being proud.
Yes.
You can be. And I think, Christopher, is this true to the way you were raised? I think we're talking about that American ethic, and that you've got to lessen yourself. You've got, there's all of that false humility, I think, that a lot of us were raised with, where you had to reduce.
We're not only are we taught to reduce, but we're not taught to reduce our entire life. If we were told to reduce our entire life, then it would not be a foreign concept for us, and we wouldn't have a hard time struggling with it as an adult. And when we're children, you're pushed out in the middle of the living room floor during Thanksgiving, and you said, dance for everybody, show everybody how great you can dance, play the piano for everybody, show everybody how great you can play the piano, sing for everybody. Oh, doesn't she just sing the best? Oh, you're the best singer in the world. And then somehow we take that confidence that we've instilled in that child, and then that child hits a certain age, and we say, stop talking about yourself. Don't tell everybody how great you are. Don't show off. And that child is then beat into a submissive place of not wanting to outshine anybody else. And I believe that is probably one of the most horrific things that you can do to a child, when you should teach that child that it is completely fine for you to be an amazing singer, and know that you're an amazing singer as long as you're comfortable sharing the microphone.
Yes. Amen.
This is so good.
Amen, my friend.
Sing. You don't have to sing for the people. Go sing up in your bedroom. Go be yourself.
Yeah.
I think the performative part of that. Ooh, there's so much truth that's just hitting me right now.
Yes.
Christopher.
It's so true. Yes.
I've had a lot of therapy.
Well, we're getting some free therapy today, because that is.
Wow.
So wait,
it's
what
so
would
true.
what would, if you could give guidance to maybe a young parent then, let's say, or a young woman, young man that's going through that age of coming out, when does it happen? 12, 13, when you're not the little kid anymore.
When you start to feel, I think that's when you start being more
self-conscious.
Yes, is when people start to feel self-conscious. I never felt like that. So Christopher, you
I was bullied really, really profusely in school, to the point that it was just not a healthy.
I'm so sorry.
And because of that, I didn't have a lot of self-confidence from probably the age around puberty, when most kids would go through puberty, that kind of age. I also am 6'7". I hit 6'7" by 11th grade.
Wow.
So I grew very, very fast.
Yeah.
And I had a very high metabolism. So I was basically olive oil, just as a man. So Gumby. I was basically Gumby.
Sure.
Yeah, you've ever seen a German Shepherd puppy? They got the big feet and they don't know what to do with them. Like, that's I was very clumsy and kind of awkward. But then all of a sudden I started kind of filling into my body in my late 20s, and I started, working out, started taking care of myself. And so people kind of started complimenting me a little bit, and I started feeling a little better. And I started getting the confidence to explore some fashion options that I was too ashamed or too worried would draw too much attention to me.
Yeah.
before. And instead of trying to blend in, I decided that I was going to make a conscious effort to
show out.
unapologetically show out and stand out.
Well, I think the way your social media exploded when you started being truly authentic too is another advice, as Becky was asking for, is like, look at the success that comes when you just say, you know what, I don't care what other people think.
Step into it. Yeah.
I think that if, even if you're at a point in your life where, maybe you're not really looking for success, you could be retired for all I care. But, by taking care of yourself first, you're going to be a better mom. You're going to be a better grandmother. You're going to be a better friend, husband, wife, whatever it is. You're going to be better at all of those things if you just give yourself permission to be one thing, and that's you.
Ooh,
and I just
high fives. That. Yes.
That's so good.
Oh, I love you, Christopher. That's like a perfect place to start wrapping up. Yeah. Just by being you.
This was so fun.
Yeah. Wait, no, we have a few more things to talk about though as we start to wrap up.
Yeah, okay.
We always, because we met in fashion, we always like to have a little fashion flash each week to tell the ladies what we're excited about in fashion. Is there anything from a fashion perspective that you're loving right now?
Yes. So, being that I live in Europe and so many styles, specifically for the East Coast of the United States, they start in Europe and then they make their way there. So right now you can definitely start seeing structured, non-form fitted. So where it hangs really well on the shoulders, but it's not something that's super tight. I love the wide leg pants are coming back, and even for men. So I just bought this pair, pleats in the front.
Yes.
You're seeing a lot of very interesting pleats. We're not talking about the Dockers khakis where there's 3 pleats on each side for the men. They're reverse pleats, so it gives this amazing seam down the front, and it gives the flow of the pant, but everything is very structured at the top. Nice. So you don't lose. If you're someone who you like to kind of show off a little bit of a tush, you can still show off a tush while having the wide leg pant, and everything hangs really well. So that's my new favorite thing. I went from having the very tailored suits that I would wear on air and all that kind of stuff to really loving the street style of Barcelona, because it is unapologetically just kind of fashion forward. And so this is a very fashionable town.
Oh, I can't wait to get over there. Okay. Also, Suge took off. How do you say it? Hey, Suge. Hey, Suge. But it is not just social media. You have grown you have an entire collection of apparel and shoes and more. So tell us how we can get in on the Suge movement.
So you can always follow me online, which is at Mansions and Mascara. That's the @ Mansions and Mascara. Because at the time I sold real estate and beauty products. So that's what I sold.
They go hand in hand.
And then, but then you can also go to shugwear.com. That's SUG. wear.com and check out the new collection. We are getting ready to launch a new collection in a couple of weeks, and it's our Barcelona collection.
Hey, now we've got to get something for our new set in here as well. So I'm going to go on Sugar.
I know a guy.
We need some swag.
I'm going to go on there and order something, and I'm going to put it, I think I'll put it next to the disco shoes, because I feel like Suge has a little disco in it for sure.
I feel so special.
We feel so special. We could catch up for hours and hours, but now since you're begging us to come to Barcelona, we'll probably just get on the delta.coms and figure out a way to get ourselves over there. Will you do this again with us?
I'm truly not joking. I will do this as many times as you will have me. This has been so much fun. And to everybody who's watching, let me just say, this being my first time doing this show with Becky and Aaron, I really just want to say so much from the bottom. I always say this, from the bottom of my toes, and I would mean it more, but my toes don't go down any further. Thank you all for being such an important part of my life and my journey, because television shopping was just such a monumental for this. I'm kind of, like I said, dirt road, small town Georgia boy, grew up in my grandmother's beauty shop on the back of her house. To then be able to do national television and shop with every single one of you and build that kind of experience, it's something I will never forget.
Oh, right back at you, babe. We'll never forget you. We adore you. Thank you so much. Say hi to everybody in Barcelona for us. And everybody,
I will do it.
All of Christopher's information to follow him and shop with him will be listed in the show notes. So we are so happy you're here. Thank you, Christopher.
Hasta pronto.
Love you, honey.
I love you too. Bye.
Hey friends, we've got a new partner of the podcast. It's Sarah Styles Collective. She's a wardrobe consultant. She's a stylist. She's a former TV fashion host. You know her, you love her. It's Sarah Skillroot. She has launched a brand new career to help you feel confident in the clothes that you're in. If you just need a little pick me up by the season, if you've got a special occasion coming up, if you're just looking for what the trends are going to be next week, next year, she has got you covered. So head to Sarah Styles Collective on Instagram and let her know we sent you. If you want to move better, if you want to feel better, if you want to perform better, and who doesn't, you've got to check out Daily Fascia. Daily Fascia is one of our original supporters. It is brought to you by Erin Teets. And what she does is she helps relieve aches and pains with fascia-focused activations. She is a best-selling DailyOM course creator who does personalized sessions that help you feel your absolute best. You can check her out on Instagram, Patreon, or YouTube. And when you do, use the code HAPPY20 to let her know that we sent you and to get a special discount exclusive to our listeners. You guys, do us a huge favor, please. Will you like this podcast, share it, or subscribe? Because that helps, right, Bex?
It will help us a ton.
It will. And I don't know if we've helped you, but if you don't mind helping us, that'd be great.
Fair's fair.
Love you.